Hi dear students, here is your Maneesh sir. Welcome to the second part of direct and indirect speech. In the last class, we have discussed all the methods and rules of changing direct to indirect speech. I advise you to watch that previous video once again so that you can remember all the rules and regulations. Today we are going to understand how to change affirmative sentences of all the tenses to indirect speech. First, let us start with the simple present tense. Anil said to Sunil, quotation, I and my family wear mask. Apply all the 6 steps. Recognize the subject, that is Anil, object, that is Sunil, reporting verb, that is said to, it is in past tense. Remove the comma and quotation and add that. Recognize the tense, I wear, it is in simple present tense, changes to simple past, that is I wore. Then identify the pronouns, I as well as my are the pronouns used in the reported speech. So I changes to he because subject is Anil. My changes to his, that is also first person, depends upon the subject Anil. So the answer is Anil told Sunil that he and his family wore mask. Now let's see how to change a present continuous sentence to reported speech. Remember, as per the rule, present continuous tense changes to past continuous tense. See the example. I said to my students, quotation, you are learning spoken English today. Recognize or identify the subject, that is I, first person. Object is my students. Reporting verb said to. Pronoun is you, second person. And the word indicating nearness, that is today. That changes to that day. You are learning, that is a tense. Present continuous changes to past continuous. Answer. I told my students that they were learning spoken English on that day. So you are learning changes to they were learning. Now let's see how to change a present perfect tense to indirect speech. Present perfect tense formula, you remember, subject plus has or have plus verb 3. Past perfect is subject plus had plus verb 3. See the example. My mother said to me, quotation, you have attended all your online classes. See the changes what we are supposed to make. You have attended all your online classes. You is the pronoun. You is a second person. It depends upon the object of the sentence, that is me. And one more pronoun is your. Your also second person, depends upon the object, that is me. You have attended, it is in present perfect. So we have to make have to had to make it past perfect. So the answer will be my mother told me that I had attended all my online classes. Your changes to my, you changes to I, have changes to had. So you have attended all your online classes changes to my mother told me that I had attended all my online classes. Next, let us see how to convert present perfect continuous tense to indirect speech. As per the rules, present perfect continuous changes to past perfect continuous. See the example. Parents said to the principal, comma quotation. Our children have been attending online classes since 2 months. Our children have been attending online classes since 2 months. So here parents plural, it is the subject. The principal is the object. Tense is present perfect continuous. Have been plus ing, it will change to had been plus ing. So the answer will be parents said to the principal. Changes to parents told the principal that their children had been attending online classes since 2 months. So our children will change to their children because the subject is parents. Now let's see how to convert a sentence in simple past tense to indirect speech. Remember simple past tense formula, subject plus V2, past perfect is subject plus had plus V3. See the example. You said to me, comma quotation, you did a good job for me yesterday. You said to me, comma quotation, you did a good job for me yesterday. Identify the subject object, that is you is a subject, me is the object, and identify the pronouns in the reported speech. You is the reported speech, it is in second person, so it depends upon the object me. There is one more pronoun, that is me. Job for me. Me is the first person, so it depends upon the subject you. There is one more word that shows nearness, that is yesterday. It changes to the previous day. So the answer will be you told me that I had done a good job for you the previous day. You told me that I had done a good job for you the previous day. Remember why you use I had done? Because you is a second person, depends upon the object. Object is me. And next one, good job for me. Here this me is first person, so it depends upon the subject you. So answer is you told me that I had done a good job for you the previous day. Next we are going to convert a sentence in past continuous to indirect speech. See the example. She said to him, I was watching TV yesterday when you came. She said to him, comma quotation, I was watching TV yesterday when you came. Here actually it's a compound sentence. Two sentences are there. I was watching TV yesterday, which is in past continuous. When you came, it is in simple past tense. So both the tense we have to change. So I was watching is a past continuous, which changes to past perfect continuous. That is I had been watching. You came, it's in simple past tense, that changes to past perfect. That is you had come. So pronoun we have to change. So here there are two pronouns we have to change. First one is I was watching. I is a first person, it changes to depends upon the subject, that is she. Next one is you came. You is a second person, it depends upon the object. Object is him. Understood? So now let us change the into indirect speech. She told him that she had been watching TV the previous day when he had come. Yesterday changes to the previous day. When you came, simple past, changes to when he had come, past perfect. She told him that she had been watching TV the previous day when he had come. Next, let's see how to convert a sentence in past perfect to indirect speech. Remember, as per the rules, The past perfect tense remain as it is in the reported speech, but all other rules are applied. Let's take the example. She said to Dr. Ben, comma quotation, you had left the hospital last week before I came to see you. You had left the hospital last week before I came to see you. Remember here all the words. You is the pronoun you are supposed to change, and there is I also in the reported speech. So you is second person, depends upon the object. I is a first person, depends upon the subject she. So we can change it. She told Dr. Ben that he had left the hospital the previous week before she had come to see him. She told Dr. Ben that he had left the hospital the previous week before she had come to see him. Remember here, I came to see you. It is in simple past tense. So simple past tense changes to past perfect. So I came will change to she had come. Dear students, now let's see how to change a sentence in past perfect continuous to indirect speech. Remember, like past perfect tense, past perfect continuous tense also remain as it is in reported speech, but all other rules of indirect speech is applied. See the example. My sister said to me, comma quotation, you had been traveling from Bangalore to Davangere on last week in this time. You had been traveling from Bangalore to Davangere on last week in this time. Here the tense remain as it is, but the pronouns you need to be changed as per the object, that is me. So the answer is, my sister told me that I had been traveling from Bangalore to Davangere on the previous week in that time. So last week will change to previous week. This time will change to that time. So you will change to I because the object is me. So the answer is, my sister told me that I had been traveling from Bangalore to Davangere on previous week in that time. Now let's move to the future tense. Remember, future tense to change indirect speech, the only tense rule is will changes to would, shall changes to should. But the rules of pronouns and others will continue as it is. See the example. You will pass this examination in this year, my mother said to me. You will pass this examination in this year, my mother said to me. So the answer is, my mother told me that I would pass that examination in that year. Remember, here you is changed as I because the object is me. My mother said to me. So the answer is, my mother told me that I would pass that examination in that year. This changes to that. Now let's see how to change future continuous tense to indirect speech. See the example. I will be attending a function tomorrow in this time. The student said to me, I will be attending a function tomorrow in this time. The student said to me. So the tense rules, as I told, will changes to would, and the remaining rules of pronoun will continue. The student told me that he or she would be attending a function the next day in that time. Tomorrow changes to next day. This time changes to that time. Student, as we don't know the gender, we will change to, it's a neutral gender, so we will change to he or she. The student told me that he or she would be attending a function on the next day in that time. Now let's move to future perfect tense. The tense rule is nothing but will changes to would, shall changes to should. I said to my father, comma quotation, I will have completed this work within today evening. I said to my father, comma quotation, I will have completed this work within today evening. So here I is a pronoun you are supposed to change. It's a first person, so depends upon the subject. Subject is I itself, and other rules will continue as it is. So the answer is, I told my father that I would will changes to would. I would have completed this work within that day evening. Today changes to that day. Dear students, now let's move to the last tense of the sequence, that is future perfect continuous tense. Here also will or shall changes to would or should, that's all. See the example. Rahul said to me, comma quotation, I will have been attending a seminar from tomorrow morning to evening. I will have been attending a seminar from tomorrow morning to evening. So tomorrow changes to the next day. I is the first person. So here Rahul. So it will changes to he. So the answer is, Rahul told me that he would have been attending a seminar from the next day morning to evening. Rahul told me that he would have been attending a seminar from the next day morning to evening. Students, today we have learned how to convert the affirmative sentences of all tenses to indirect speech. If you have any doubt about the rules and regulations, please watch the previous video. In the next class, we will learn how to convert the interrogative sentences as well as imperative sentences to indirect speech. Few assignments have been sent along with this. Try to solve it, seeing the video properly and respond before evening. Thank you.